Jessica here from Stitching Colours. Welcome back, or welcome to any new viewers or new subscribers. I've got Luna here sitting with me. She is being rather chatty this morning, so apologies in advance if you have some meowing in the background that may or may not set off your own pets. Sorry about that one. Okay, and I'm here for an update of what I've been working on over the last 2 weeks. I have done in total just over 10,000 stitches. What? She's not quite sure what she wants, I don't think. But I think a large portion of this meowing is because I'm on her chair again, aren't I? But half the time when I come out in the morning, she's sleeping on my chair. So I really can't win. All chairs are her chairs. Hey? But anyway, moving on. There we go. I have worked on 6 pieces over the last 2 weeks and have gotten some quite good progress. I'm pretty happy with it. My stitching last weekend wasn't great, and a few days this week I had a bit of a bug and wasn't great. And then I came back to work and have been rushing around ever since. So yeah, fun times. Okay, the first piece I've got for you is Archer. This is a pain-free crafts piece based on the artwork by Esmira. And this is the piece that I am trying to finish by the end of this year, and Stitching Addicted is also working on the same piece, also trying to get it finished. We are in the similar point now. She started at the bottom, I started at the top, and I'm working my way down. So it's been really interesting just seeing the progress. I have done all the bulk stitching up in the sky, which is great. And I'm now down to a lot of confetti, which is in the bottom section. And it seems that it's going pretty quickly, even though it is relatively heavy confetti. So this has been getting my Saturdays, and this got 2,721 stitches on it over the last 2 weeks. Sorry, itchy nose. And most of that was on the first Saturday, where I got about 1,800 stitches done. So I'm not far away from having the page for February completed, which is really good. But this page is the lower page, so it's a slightly smaller page, I think. I don't know. Based on my stitch count, you wouldn't think so. Anyway, I have got about 600, about 600 stitches to do left on that today, and then I will be starting a little bit on March's page, but I may actually end up focusing a bit more time on one of my other pieces until March. We'll see how it gets on. So you should have seen already where it was last time. And this is stitched on 25 count 1/1 using all of the kit materials. I bought the kit for 2 over 1 on 25 count just to make sure I had enough thread. I was a little concerned with the kit if I did too many errors or anything like that. Frogging, even just traveling, can cause you to be a little bit short on some things with kits and things. And given that the threads come over from the UK, it was a concern that there might be different dye lot matches and things like that due to restrictions on dyes and things like that from different countries. Have different restrictions on different dyes that they are permitted to use. For example, the US in particular, compared to New Zealand, there are quite a few restrictions in that way. So, without further delays, here is where I'm at with Archer now. So, she's really coming along. I really can't wait to get some more progress on her and get her that much closer to a finish. However, my stitching time may be decreasing shortly, so we'll see how things get on. Here is the main area I've been focusing on. So most of the second page now, has been completed down here. These 2 pages, it's just this little chunk in here that I have to go, and then I will be back up working more on these pale grey sleeves, which aren't the most fun to stitch, but at the same time I would rather them over bulk stitching. I am not a big fan of huge areas of one colour, and it's always interesting when you get those. I find it 10 times easier when I'm doing those to sit down and scroll Facebook. No stitching gets done when that happens. So we'll get to that. Anyway, my next piece I have is my Sunday piece at the moment, which is Wizard Septimus. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on the artwork by Jan Patrick Krasny. This is also stitched 1 over 1 on 25 count, but I am using CXC thread for this one. So this is my Sunday focus piece up until the point that I finish this last page that I'm working on across the top row of pages, and then I'll get another piece as that focus Sunday piece until we get to that point on the next piece as well. So you should be seeing where you saw it last time, and this piece has had 2,820 stitches on it since you last saw it, so I'm happy with the progress. There's about 1,800 stitches left on this page, so with a little bit of luck I might even end up getting to the end of it this week, and then I might move on to the other one next weekend. So here is where we're at now. So you can see there has been a fair bit of changes here, and this is the area that I've been focusing on. Hold on, let's do this here. So you can see I've got a little bit more in the moon area to finish, and that is about it. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, okay, there's only just over 1200 stitches to go. So that definitely should get finished this weekend, and then I'll move on to Lackadaisy Card Shark next weekend. I'm loving how this moon is coming together. So once I get to the end of this point, it will go back into my regular rotation, and it just means it's no longer my Sunday focus piece for the moment at least. And it means I'll get a bit of progress done on some of my other pieces, which are just about crying out for it. So I'm really happy and can't wait to see what this moon is going to look like once it's fully stitched. Okay. Oh, my paper. What's the next one on the list? This one will work. Okay. This next piece I have is Mini Sunflower Cottage, based on the artwork by Donna Gelsinger. This is also a Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and this got 943 stitches. I'm really happy with how this one's coming along. I'm starting to get away from the bulk stitching of the blue in the sky, which I'm really happy with. You should be seeing where you saw it last time. And it is coming along. I'm happy with the progress, and I think once I get a little bit further in and get a few more colours coming through, it will be a lot easier to work on. But here is where we're at now. So you can see in this corner here is the start of a vine that's part of the cottage area. And then we've got another big heart coming in over here, but that's at the edge of the page. So I've probably only done about half the page, but it's starting to come together and come along quite nicely. So I'm really happy with that one too. It's not a huge focus for this one. I'm just pottering away at it when I feel like working on something a little bit smaller and a little bit easier. The next one I have is the Heaven and Earth Designs Stitch Along for 2024, and this is, so we've still got the first three pages available only until we get to the 1st of April, I believe it is, when the next part comes out. And I have gotten another 2,082 stitches on this, and I'm happy with how it's coming along, and am just a little concerned about possible page lines later on, but there's not much we can do about that one without feathering or having the availability to feather and not being sure where colours are going at the bottom of those pages. So I'm just kind of working away at it. I'm hoping that having done extreme cross country enough across those first 3 pages at the start was enough to kind of discount any potential page lines that might show up later. We'll see what happens. Anyway, here is where we're at now. And this is also stitched on 25 count 1/1 using CXC threads. And you'll notice I've got a lot more finished over this side. I've just been kind of working my way down in the blocks, getting them all filled in. so you can see the ear of the fox, because this is the fox one. And it's not much more, and I will be really working on that fox's fur and things like that on the top of the head, which will be really exciting. Okay, I've got 2 pieces left here. We'll start with this one. So the next piece I have is the Autumn Dragon. This is another Heaven and Earth Designs piece. Wow, I've done pretty much all Heaven and Earth Designs pieces these last 2 weeks. I need a little bit more variety here. Okay, and this is based on the artwork by Sheena Pike. This was temporarily retired and then brought out of retirement and then re-retired, I think. And I'm pretty sure it's currently available, however. Okay, so this one had 1,208 stitches completed on it, and I'm pretty happy with how it's coming along. It's just quite awkward to work on because it doesn't have any background. It means that it can be a little bit of a pain when traveling from area to area, especially as the edge is kind of jagged with the different areas of the dragon. So you should have already saw where it was last time, and this is worked on 25 count 1/1, and here is where we're at now. So the main area I was focusing on, moving the park threads of course, was this leaf. That's what it's called, it's a leaf, and I was working my way down the edge of the page to just make that area a bit bigger. Because of how the edge is quite jagged, it seems easier to work down the page than across the page. So for this one I think I'll be working down the pages, even as I go across the piece. But you know, that seems to be the best way of getting some easier progress rather than having to go down and around, because the threads I'm moving to the back to go to the other end of the page are covering huge areas or that there won't be any stitching. So I haven't got any issues yet, I don't think, but there may arise some in the future that I'll have to deal with. So overall, kind of starting to come together. Doesn't really look like a dragon yet, but that will just take a bit of time. Alright, and the last piece I have is the next Sunday focus piece. So that got a little bit of work on it these last couple of weeks. It got exactly 400 stitches, and this piece is, I would almost say it's the heaviest confetti piece I've got, or one of the heaviest confetti pieces I've currently got anyway. And this is Lackadaisy Card Shark, based on the artwork by Tracy Butler. This is also a Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and it's stitched 1/1 on 25 count. So this got 400 stitches, and here is where we're at now. So what I was doing was focusing on up here, so this ear was not there before. There might have been a little tip of it at the top, and then this peacock feather and the one on the other end as well. So for this piece, after I finish this page, there are 2 more pages across the top. I seem to have an awful lot of fabric though. That is concerning. Sorry, I'm just a little concerned. All of a sudden, what if I've done it the wrong way around? Okay, dimensions. 525 wide by 510 high. So I think I've just got heaps of extra fabric. Okay. Right. So for this piece, I have got the page I'm currently working on, the next page, and then there's a page after that which is almost 100% purely 310, because it continues the frame that goes around the edge. So that's not going to be a fun page to stitch, so I'm going to have to work out a way of getting some of that 310 done every time I work on it. Otherwise I will be stuck on that page for a long time. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of huge amounts of one colour, so I guess it makes up for how confetti heavy the rest of it is so far. It's going to be interesting. But just a little overall update for Archer. Archer is currently at 66.52%. And oh yes, Wizard Septimus is at 11.08%, so it doesn't feel like a huge amount of progress, but this one is a portrait shaped piece, so there's a lot more still to come on. And Lackadaisy Card Shark is at 12.62, but it's practically square, so it's good to know now that I have nothing to be too concerned about with the excess fabric. Where am I up to? So this is at 390. 40, 60, 80, 90, 500, 20. It should end somewhere around here. But yeah, I've got all this extra fabric. Okay, a little bit less because I've got the border, but I'm just not quite sure why I've got all this extra fabric. It'll be something to sort out once I get to this top. I don't want to trim anything off until I get to that point, and then I can sort it out based on where I get to. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with my progress over the last couple of weeks, but things might be about to slow down with stitching as my time is kind of disappearing a little bit. My trainee who got his assessed license just after the new year decided about 2 weeks later to hand in his resignation. Fun times. I've just gotten them all trained up. But there's nothing I can do about that now. So his last day is in the middle of March. He gave an extended notice period, which kind of doesn't really help me, and has been off sick this last whole week. Not sure why. I know he's got a doctor's certificate, but again, that information didn't come to me. It went higher up, so it just is a little bit frustrating. I'm not really sure he was unwell, but again, don't have any proof. It kind of, I guess my frustration is over seeing him out driving on Thursday night. In my mind, if you're well enough to be socializing, you should be well enough to work. Especially as I was running around doing just about 12-hour days. So, not much I can do about that one. Given he's handed in his notice period, I just have to wait. I know there are advertisements out for a new person, but we may be reliant on our Christchurch branch to help for resourcing for the near future. Very frustrating, but again, nothing I can do about it. It's just kind of funny because part of his reason for leaving was saying that our company has become too corporate, or he's seeing it's too corporate. The company he's moving to, far more corporate. We'll see what happens. He's probably gonna hate it and not realize it until it's too late. He's kind of already burnt his bridges because resigning right after training in that sense had been completed, not the best idea. And also the way he did it, also not the best idea. But hey, more on that later. But anyway, I will leave you all to it. I hope you're having a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend, and that you can find some time to get some stitching in. Alright, thank you for watching, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you, bye!